Hi everybody. I just wanted to do a quick update on how things have been going, or otherwise not going for me, since the last video. I went back to work on Tuesday after being off for 6 months and 4 days, not that I was counting or anything. I made it through the whole day. I don't know how. I barely made it. I got to my car and I started crying as soon as I closed the door, and I proceeded to cry all the way home and into the evening. I think the most upsetting part of the day for me was one of the managers told me that since the doctor released me with no restrictions, that I wouldn't be able to use my cane on the sales floor. I guess it upsets me so much because a cane isn't a restriction. It's an assistance device. It's something I needed to make it through the day, but they're trying to make things so difficult for me that I can't do my job. And I was in so much pain that night that I had to take an oxy-IR, and I barely slept at all because the medication makes me so sick, and I had to go back the next day from 12 to 9. The headache was getting more severe and the nausea, and I just thought it was still residuals from the oxy-IR. However, it wasn't. The tachycardia started to act up. When I took my blood pressure that night when I came home, the blood pressure was a little low. It was about, I think, 90/62, and my heart rate was about 122. I just thought I was so upset and stressed out that I just needed to get some rest and things would be better. I should note that that same manager who told me that I couldn't use my cane pulled me aside, and on Thursday, I'm sorry, my days are a little mixed up right now. Yeah, it was on Thursday, and said, oh, I just want you to be comfortable. I want you to use your cane, and, we don't want you to be in agony, and, you held yourself together really well. And people don't change their mind like that. So that basically tells me that either human resources or a higher up manager got a hold of her and basically said, a lawsuit. And they're damn right. You can't get away with treating people like that. I don't know who people think they are and what gives them the right. The company is a multi-million-dollar, if not billion-dollar company. I don't even care enough about the company to know the statistics anymore. I just don't understand how people can be so hateful. I'm sorry that I don't fit into your trendy little box of perfection, and if it bothers them that much, fire me. And maybe I'll let you own one of my products once I own your company. Anyways, back to my story. Sorry about my rant. I woke up the next morning, which was Friday, with the intent on getting ready to go to work. I felt really dizzy, really nauseous, short of breath. I had a tight feeling in the left side of my neck. I called the nurse on call that I have on my insurance and discussed with her what was going on, and I could tell she was trying not to upset me and make me worry, but she basically told me, you need to get a hold of somebody and go to the emergency room. You need to be seen by a doctor. So I had tried to call my aunt, but my aunt was at band camp with my cousin and I forgot about that. I didn't even get a hold of her until I was already at the hospital. As I was trying to think of who to call, things progressively got worse, and I ended up having to call an ambulance. I was taken in by the rescue squad. With the oxygen, they got my blood pressure, my heart rate under control. My blood pressure was fine. It went up a little bit when I started crying because I couldn't breathe, but as soon as they started the oxygen, things got a little bit better. My husband, I asked him to call off of work for me because I wasn't able to do it myself. He called, and I called work later that evening and they acted all sympathetic, only for me to wake up the next morning to an email that was sent at 4:35 a.m. that stated I needed to provide a doctor's note explaining in detail my need to be off Friday and Saturday. Let's see if I can get it. Does that not explain? How about this arm? Does that not explain? Or maybe my discharge papers from the hospital? Or do you want to look at my cell phone and see where I called 911 and was taken by an ambulance? Apparently not. I'm hurt. I'm really hurt and disgusted at the shitty way that people treat other people because they have an illness or a disability. It makes me really lose faith in others that they can be so hurtful. I'm sorry, give me a second. So I'm waiting for Monday, tomorrow morning. I'm hoping to get in and see my cardiologist and find out what's going on. I woke up this morning with a heart rate of 120 from sleeping. It's exhausting, it's maddening, it's sickening. I'm trying really hard to not go back to the hospital. I just really don't want to be there because I really don't feel like they're even going to be able to make a difference. So I'm just hoping to be able to see my doctor first thing tomorrow. I'm sorry that this update is so depressing. I was beyond excited to go back to work, but instead it looks like I'm not. And that's how it goes, I guess. I'm not willing to compromise my health to benefit a company that doesn't care about me. I'm not willing to compromise myself. I'm not willing to stand and suffer for $12 an hour. It's just not worth it to me. So I made the next step, and I sent them the documentation from the hospital and told them that that's what they're going to have to use for right now until I can see my doctor because it's the weekend. I guess it would be a blessing if they fired me. But other than that, I've just been trying to stay down and stay rested and stay calm and do some meditation and focusing and stay close to the people that are positive in my life, because Lord knows there's enough people out there that are negative. Tachycardia is a horrible thing. Ehlers-Danlos is a horrible thing. And I really never looked at myself as being disabled before. But I guess I'd rather wear that label than be abused. So, if any of my managers happen to see this, I've got one thing to say. And that's, I hope to God this never ever happens to you. And if it does, maybe you'll look back and realize what bastards you're being. But with the Christianity and love that I have in my heart, I pray that you never have to deal with this.